Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite founder of Times Evoke, Mrs. Meera Jain, accompanied by the wondrous manifestations of nature.
The Anthropocene is our current epoch of humans impacting Earth. Since 1750, human activities from agriculture to industry have released 1.8 trillion tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Methane concentrations have reached 264% of pre-industrial levels. Surface temperature has increased by 1.47 degrees Celsius since the late 19th century. Earth is now warming at its fastest pace in 10,000 years. As Earth warms, 10% of northern permafrost has melted, releasing carbon and methane stored over 11,000 years. Oceans have warmed by 1.45 degrees Celsius since 1900, causing sea levels to rise twice as fast as 3 decades ago. Ocean acidification has grown by 30% over the last 3 centuries. Rising temperatures have bleached 50% of Earth's coral reefs in the past 7 decades. Antarctica is losing 150 billion tons of ice mass per year, and Greenland is losing 270. Arctic ice is shrinking at 12.2% per decade. In 2023, Earth's glaciers lost 600 gigatons of water, the largest annual loss ever recorded. Humans account for 10 million hectares of deforestation every year. We've significantly altered 75% of Earth's land, and 40% of its landmass has been desertified. 20% of the Amazon rainforest has been cleared, mostly for livestock farming. 64% of the world's wetlands have been lost over the last century. Since 1975, 70% of the planet's wildlife has been lost to human activity. Earth's extinction rate is now 10,000 times higher than natural levels. 30,000 species faced extinction now. That's 82 species a day, or 3.4 species lost every hour, forever. 50% of all remaining species face extinction by 2050. It would take 7 million years for the natural world to even recover from such devastation. The Anthropocene is surely leading to the 6th mass extinction. Many species, some originating millions of years ago, will vanish forever due to our actions. We can still mitigate much of this growing loss, However, our success depends on how we gather and disseminate information. Yuval Harari says, if you give good people bad information, they will make bad decisions, even self-destructive ones. That has been happening again and again in history because information isn't truth. Information isn't wisdom. In the 16th century, people under the rule of clerics and kings thought Earth was the center of the universe and the sun revolved around us. In 1543, Nicholas Copernicus proved Earth orbited the sun, explaining the changes we see between night and day, seasons, and temperature. This heliocentric discovery faced sharp rejection, rooted in deeply entrenched motives, which were profit-driven, of course. The Earth-centric model, claiming mystical information, imagined God twirled the heavens around us. This then meant divine authority for priests and rulers to demand deference and revenue from the masses. Heliocentrism challenged this entire structure of profit and power. Hence, a code of omerta, a symphony of silence, and a fusion of excuses were used against it. The solar model, it was claimed, was deviation from priestly expertise and a challenge to regal authority. Science, truth, and information were suppressed. Copernicus's work was banned. Later, Galileo advanced this theory, only to face house arrest. Johannes Kepler, who further demonstrated the existence of the solar system, was exiled. Yet, Carl Sagan writes that these scientists represent a critical transition in human history because they showed how even the vast cosmos could be understood correctly if people were given truthful information. Today, we live in an age where science and its inheritor technology prevail. Indeed, we've moved from medieval feudalism to economic times, where our lives are shaped by rationality and truth. But are they? Our era has seen the expansion of science in two avatars. Planetary science has made astonishing discoveries about life. We all have a common etymology, a shared ancestry of being. All living creatures are made from the dust of stars. The carbon in our muscles, the calcium in our bones, the oxygen and hydrogen in our cells comes from ancient galaxies. A supernova explosion cast these elements across space, and some formed Earth. Walt Whitman says, a leaf of grass is no less than the journey work of the stars. Life on Earth grew because of its water, air, and regenerative architecture. Our ecosystems renew themselves with all the species, tiny worms to apex predators playing their part. Humans are just one weave in this great tapestry of life, but the only one known to have creative sapience. Our second avatar is annihilation, weapons multiplying through an industrial armaments complex, driven by profit motives on conveyor belts of crisis, designed only to destroy lives, ecosystems, and the fabric of our planet. Observe these ironic times. Planetary science, which unites us in a shared consciousness and uplifts our view of life, is underfunded and poorly celebrated. The industry of destruction, a compendium of catastrophes, and assemblage of agonies is lavishly supported down to the last bomb. Our species has survived tremendous odds and attained a lexicon of achievements, from splitting the atom to traversing galaxies. It makes you wonder why, when we can accurately measure the stars, we cannot understand the rupturing of our own planetary boundaries. Humans weren't designed for self-destruction. We were meant to thrive. The trouble is with our information. Mainstream media reflects and interprets what it sees in society, drawing from the many voices and events around us. As the saying goes, the media is the mirror of its time. However, in social media, a darker belief prevails. Nothing sells like negative information. That includes crime and grime, objectification, and a deepening of prejudices. But it's not just negative information, it's also trivial distractions. Instead of widening our worldview and deepening our empathy, most media shrinks these to the pursuit of petty politics and personal power games. There is little news on what actually matters, what brought us here and what keeps us thriving, from Earth's web of life to the universe's alchemy. As our information narrows, so does our worldview. V.S. Naipaul observes, a banality of expectation matches a banality of perception. The pettiness of information has diminished the grandeur of our planetary existence. It has impacted our understanding of economics as well. Ecology and economics are interlinked. They stem from the word eco, which means house, and they focus on best managing our shared resources. Yet today, economics has diminished from showing reverence for nature to only extracting from ecology. And there is an information gap, a resounding silence about how this is impacting our planet. While we create a crisis of unprecedented depth, social media only amplifies shallow information. Media driven by rhythms of algorithms have given humanity an information overload of the inane, an addiction to irrelevance, shortened attention spans, and even fake news. Tristan Harris says, we've now got an even deeper arms race for attention. This is a race to the bottom of the brain stem, creating an engagement monster. Ironically, in the age of science and truth, we are veering towards an information avalanche of untruth, glorifying trivialities and stepping over the salient. AI will further deepen this crisis. We are now standing at a precipice in time. Harris evocatively describes this. The world is about to change in a fundamental way, except the change is not being deployed in a safe and responsible way. If that technology confers power, it will start a race, and the race could end in tragedy. The tragedy won't just be of outsourcing human intelligence. It will be of eroding our planet and its rich eloquence of life. Intelligence blossoms when information meets judgment. What judgment about life can a mechanism have which does not live? Humans may be flawed, but they are alive, and hence many of us respond instinctively to the calls of life. Artificial intelligence is an abstract thing. It doesn't have the grounding metaphors, the kinesthetic experience of our lives. It does not know Earth as an immense correlation of living, breathing parts, nor does it have a vocabulary of consequences for breaking those. As we confront the Anthropocene, it is imperative upon you, leaders of industry, to invest in a better informed future. Every technology holds both promise and peril, and AI is no exception. With the right incentives and resource allocation, AI could help preserve Earth, or it could fuel human actions that destroy it. The choice is ours. I request you to consider distributing your resources to projects and endeavors that safeguard our planet. Our fellow species have traveled with us through cosmological time and space. Our intertwined stories express the wonders of life. Thank you for your time.